What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Jules Melly on the Jules Melly YouTube channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Today I am going to be showing you all my vision board for 2021. So I mentioned in my last video that I was going to kind of display to the world what we had in store for 2021, and that is in terms of myself, my personal goals, Team Bionic, business goals, and the Bionic podcast, which to me, in all honesty, is just fun. So I'm gonna put in the suggested here, check out the Bionic podcast if you haven't already, and welcome to today's video, guys. Let's go. Alright, so as you just saw, that is what the vision board looks like, and now I'm going to get to explaining it for everybody. So we have a couple different things. So we're gonna start off with here. First, we have the Team Bionic logo, which is like just something I wanted to obviously include on here. It's gonna be a big year for Team Bionic. Same thing with the top here with the Bionic podcast logo. So nice and simple. I just wanted to start off the top two things with the Bionic logos that we have. The first thing that says in the middle, which I'm gonna pop up here for you guys so that's nice and big, is a quote that says, "The major key to your better future is you." So the reason why I put that dead smack center in the middle is because I'm pointing at the wrong thing, because that is what I want to be reading to myself every single morning when I get up in the morning. The major key to your better future is you. And that goes with anyone that's trying to accomplish anything that's great, that's, that takes a lot out of themselves. So I know that no matter what it is that I chase in the future, it starts with me. I have to make the changes to myself first, okay? Underneath the Bionic podcast logo here, I have "You're still breathing." That means you still have more to give. So we're gonna start with the fun part, which like I mentioned earlier is the podcast. The podcast to me is just really fun, and to me, the fact that I am breathing, I still have more to give. That's why I started the podcast. The podcast is to inspire people. The podcast is to share stories and to give others an avenue to share their journey, to share what it is that they've been through in life, and in turn the listeners can benefit from these stories and can compare themselves to the people on the Bionic podcast. So that's kind of why I started the whole podcast to begin with. So the next quote that we're going to move on to is right underneath the podcast. It's this little one over here, and it says, "Progress equals happiness." So no matter what you're doing in life, as long as every day you're getting better, or the next time you do that same thing, you do it in a better fashion, in a better mannerism, that to me it equals happiness. And that was something that really stuck out to me a lot, because as long as you're improving on the daily, as long as you know you're getting better, then you should have a certain level of contentness with who you are, what you're becoming, and in turn that should reward you with some happiness. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. Again, guys, if you make your own vision board, obviously it's going to be different than mine, but I'm just here to share with you what it is that I am envisioning for this year of 2021 to make it a better year than last year, which obviously for all of us was definitely a tough year. So right underneath that, we have another one that says, "When you stop growing, you start dying inside." That's huge to me. Right underneath that, I said it has "read books." So my goal is to get through a book every month, and I'm actually on track right now. I've already read a book, and I'm closing off a book for this month of January. So really happy with that, and I really hope that I continue. Not hope, sorry. I don't like to use the word hope when it is something that I want to do. I know that I'm going to continue reading and set myself out to read 15, 20, 30 minutes a day, and to continue to read books, because when you stop growing, you start dying inside. All right? Right below that, guys, we have "Make your mind fertile ground for the seeds of opportunity." So that one's huge for me. Make your mind fertile ground. So basically what that means is, when you want to achieve something, if you don't believe it in your mind, or if your mind isn't prepared to endure something that is big and like a huge goal, then the opportunity won't necessarily even be there to begin with, because you don't even believe it. So the reason why I have the Alphalete logo, which is the same clothing that I'm wearing right now, the reason why I have "Make your mind fertile ground for the seeds of opportunity" is because this year I am aiming to be a sponsored Alphalete athlete. So that to me is huge. That's something that started my fitness journey. The first time I ever cut to get shredded for summer was for Christian Guzman's Summer Shredding Challenge. And then after that is when I started competing and I started doing all these things and falling in love with bodybuilding. So my love for Alphalete is something that started off my fitness journey, and I do owe a lot to Alphalete and to Christian for inspiring me to do the things that I've been doing with Team Bionic. So that's huge for me. We're gonna go to the middle of the board here, which we're gonna start with the big picture, okay? So the big picture is a little guy, and there's a big step onto the next level, but in between that is a ladder, and I can't count how many steps are there, but it's probably around over 20 to 30 steps. What this means and represents to me is that I know what the next step of Team Bionic is. I know what my next step is, and although we can see it, you know, there are so many little steps that we need to take in order to achieve that big goal. And a lot of people just want things quick. They just want that next step, bring me to where it is that I want to go, and that's it. But at the end of the day, there's so many little minuscule things that you need to do to achieve that big goal. And I understand that, I know that. And for me, every single day or every little task is a step. The next step, the next step, the next step into that bigger image, that bigger goal that we have. So that to me is huge. Right underneath it, I have a quote that says, "You can have more than you got because you can become more than you are." And right after that, there's a semicolon there that says, "Unless you change who you are, you'll always have what you got." So to me, that's absolutely huge. I know that in order for me to achieve greatness, I need to change myself. I need to be progressing, and changing isn't necessarily a bad thing. When you change for the better, you're still changing. So I see it as I need to change to become a better man for my family, for my girlfriend, for my team, for my company, for myself, for everything. So becoming that next version of myself is huge for me. And I think that this year, through competing, through the business endeavors, through all these things, you know, it will come. Right underneath that, I have the word entrepreneur. The reason why I have the word entrepreneur there is because 2021 is actually going to be the first year that I am fully just working for myself. So for those of you that don't know, I quit my job on October 7th of 2020 to pursue Team Bionic full time, to just be a coach, to be the best coach that I can possibly be, to be 24/7 truly available to my clients. Like, I'm giving my heart and soul to this. So this is going to be the first year I'm ever going to be just an entrepreneur. We're going to see how it goes. I'm really excited about that. Right underneath the entrepreneur thing, I have a really important quote to me that says, "Success is something you attract, not something you pursue." And the reason why that is so important to me is because I don't want to just be successful. You know, I want to do all these little things within the bodybuilding industry as a coach, you know, inspiring people with the podcast. And I want to do these things because I enjoy doing them and because I love them. And, you know, hopefully one day success is something that just comes. You know, I don't want to drive a Lamborghini and do this and do that. Like, that stuff to me is just like whatever, you know what I mean? But helping people, following my dreams, and living a happy life, like a fulfilled life, like where I quit my job and like I'm not working for a paycheck anymore. I'm working to help people. I'm actually working because I really love this job. That to me means everything. So now we're gonna go on the last side of this, of the vision board here, guys. It's right underneath the Team Bionic logo. So the first thing is gonna be a business related thing, and it says value makes the difference in results. That's this quote right here. So value makes the biggest difference in results. To me, that means every single year, every single day, improving my coaching business, whether it be the plans, whether it be how my approach to clients, whether it be you know, the style of training, nutrition, whatever it may be. You know, I want to have that true quality and value makes a difference in results. If I want my clients to come first place, second place in their competitions, if I want my clients that are just on their own journey to lose that weight or to gain muscle or whatever it is that their goals are, I want them to experience a real value when they come to Team Bionic, something that they'll never forget for the rest of their lives. And I think that value does make the difference in results. So that's something that I'm going to be focusing on, like I've been focusing on, but something that I want to read every single day to myself to know that that's the track that I'm on. So right underneath that, we have the Canadian Physique Alliance logo. So this is the league that I compete in for bodybuilding. I'm gonna be going back, making my men's physique comeback this year, starting prep February 16th, and the show is May 8th. So right underneath that, I have emotions can either build or destroy. So emotions, controlling your emotions, using them to your benefit is something that's very, very hard. Humans are emotional beings, and it's very hard to be in full control of your emotions. Nobody is. I'm not, that's for sure. But what I wanted to explain quickly on my video is in my second prep, you guys saw my first prep on my YouTube, my second prep, the second prep, I was so, edgy and this and that, and I want to be perfect. Like if I had like 125 grams of rice, like I wouldn't eat like 126 grams of rice. When in the first prep I would just do a cup and just swipe it and dump it. Like I didn't think about it as much, and like my emotions and my self-doubt and all these things started creeping in, and it really affected, number one, the way I look, and number two, my stage presence. I got on stage looking like I wasn't as confident as I was in my head, and I was shaking and all these different things, and that's something that I've never even told on the internet. So I wanted to say that blatantly. Guys, my second show, it was tough for me. My coach was a horrible coach. I'm not going to blame it on my coach, but he didn't make things easier. I was not emotionally in check, and I was letting external things affect the internal.
Nothing external can defeat the internal. The only thing that can take someone down or break you down is internal.
So for me, controlling my emotions, and the reason why I put it right underneath the logo here is because controlling my emotions is what is going to allow me to go back to becoming a champion in men's physique, not just becoming a guy that just places in the top 5, whatever. To me, controlling my emotions, using them the right way is what's going to get me to that next level in bodybuilding. So that's huge for me. I can't wait to come back. You guys have no idea. And the last thing is, I want to just talk about my sponsorship with Alphalete and the Summer Shredding Classic. So the reason why I have the Summer Shredding Classic here is because Christian Guzman holds a bodybuilding competition in Houston, Texas that he created himself, which is something that, again, I hope to do one day. That's so cool. I would love to create the judging panel and all those things. But underneath that, I have true happiness is not contained in what you get. Happiness is what you become. So to me, that's massive. And the reason for that is because I'm not chasing this aesthetic, like, oh, I want to look like this. No, like, the reason why I love bodybuilding, everyone, is because bodybuilding requires discipline. It requires determination and digging deep and all these things, and that makes you a better person. It's not about the medal. It's not about, oh, I won first place, look at me, look at me. No, it's happiness is what you become. So what I fell in love with is who I became during the process of bodybuilding. I became a structured, routine individual that was goal-oriented, that chased their goals and did all these crazy things. And I'm so happy that bodybuilding has given me that in terms of life lessons, in terms of what I've learned from bodybuilding. So what I want to do this year, if COVID doesn't get in the way, I want to go to Houston, Texas and compete in the Summer Shredding Classic, and to introduce myself to Christian and to tell him, like, dude, like, if it wasn't for you, my fitness company wouldn't be a thing. I would have never quit my job. Like, he dropped out of school to do Alphalete. I quit my job to do Team Bionic, and I'm giving it my all, and it's for a greater love of fitness and health and for exercising. And if you have been following my YouTube, if you're still here during this video, you know that this is my true passion. This is what I love to do. I love this like no other. And I think that going to the Summer Shredding Classic, wearing Alphalete trunks and doing all these things would be absolutely so cool. And being a sponsored athlete by them has been a dream of mine for a long time, but my mind was never fertile ground for the seeds of opportunity. Going back to this quote right here, right? So what I wanted to close off this video with is, if you guys want to achieve something, if you have something that you're gonna put on your own vision board, if I've inspired you to make a vision board, or if you just now know in your head that there are things that you want to accomplish this year, make sure that they're backed up with actions. How am I going to get sponsored by Alphalete? I'm going to take more professional pictures in their clothing. I already buy all their clothing, so I'm going to just take the pictures, I'm going to tag them, I'm going to find out who the scouting athlete manager is, I'm going to message them on Instagram a bit more, pouring my heart out, telling them a bit more about me, and make my ground fertile seeds for opportunity. Because if I don't think it, if I don't believe it, and if it's not backed up by action, that's the biggest thing, guys. If you don't actually act on these ideas, on all this stuff, it's just a piece of paper with shit on it, blatantly, okay? If you go out and you say, each day I'm gonna do something, each day I'm gonna read 15 minutes, each day I'm gonna do this to get me that one bit closer to my goal, I'm not gonna cheat on my diet, I'm gonna eat more to get bigger, whatever it may be, once you start to implement those actions, that's when real results start to come. So I just want to say thank you all for tuning into this video, guys. This is the 2021 vision for myself, Team Bionic, and the Bionic Podcast. Thank you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. I truly appreciate you all. And I'm back to having fun on YouTube, man. Like, before, like, I went on like a 2-year hiatus. Like, I didn't want to make videos. I didn't want anyone to know what I was doing, and we're back on it. I'm super excited. The 2021 competition season is going to be deadly. I can't wait to share with you guys my prep videos and all the stuff I have in store for you, sharing some knowledge and just giving back. So thank you all again so much. Until next time on Jules Melly's YouTube. Peace.